Hi friends, Andy Vegan. Time for my daily greens, and today I have an endive lettuce. They have these beautiful leaves. I don't know if I saw that before, but today when I opened the head and took the leaves off, I saw, I don't know if I can show you that now, here, this of the inside. You know, this one I mean. I have to be a little bit light on it, like this. It is so shiny, so silky. It's really beautiful. And all the inside of the lettuce, the white parts down there, not the green, of course, is like this. It's beautiful, shiny, and like a gloss. And, well, I usually wash the leaves in cold water, in a sink, a lot of water. Then I drain it in a salad spinner, very useful. And then I cut it, the endive, I cut it into thin stripes. And it has a firm leaf. I mean, I can't cut it, and it is a little bit bitter. It's the queen of lettuces, okay, because it's a lot of nutrients in there. They are large heads and high quality, and that's why they are called the queen of lettuces, and they are a little bit more expensive. But the usual way to cut them is in thin stripes, like I show you. I just stack the leaves, and they are dried, and cut thin stripes down here, just like that. And you can't do that with other lettuces, well, because they are so firm here. They have this texture that makes it possible, a wonderful texture. And it's also good to do it, that's the first reason, because this bitter flavor I mentioned, when I looked it up, they don't even say it is bitter, the descriptions. I don't understand. I mean, that is, to me, that is the classic bitter lettuce. But to them, it is the people who wrote these texts describing different lettuces and flavors, not bitter. Okay, it's not bitter. I mean, really bitter, like, you know, I don't know, bitter orange or something. That's really bitter. That is not like that. But it has a certain bitter flavor, I would say, that needs balance. Yeah, you need to balance the bitter flavor against the sour, the sweet, the hot, the salty. And then the bitter flavor is balanced among all the other flavors, and it's delicious. It makes it interesting. A high complex flavor, but it has to be nicely balanced. And cutting it into these stripes is one way to make a large surface of the lettuce. So it has a lot of surface. The dressing can touch everywhere and balance it. And also, why I do that here, because that's what I get when I do this cutting. I get this fluffy texture in the bowl. That is so important. Whatever leaf you have, be it another green leaf, as a romaine that is also firm, but not so bitter. It's easier to make a romaine lettuce. Salad is very easy because it tastes not so bitter. And other leaves that are tender. What you always want to do, I would say, my opinion, to have this fluffiness. Sometimes I need to tear apart the leaves, and then they have the fluffy texture. Here I cut it in thin stripes, and so forth. You always want to make it fluffy and light. And it cannot be that these lettuces, these salads, are meshed. This lightness, this fluffiness is their main, I would say, characteristic. Otherwise, you will never have a delicious green salad when the leaves are not handled with care. And the second ingredient today is just a small onion chopped up. I don't want to take too much ingredients today. It's always different. Sometimes I want a more complex recipe. I like to have something with more ingredients, more complex. But today, just simple, a little bit complex, but they call it tomato. That is the next step. Some tomatoes, nice tomatoes, and some black olives. I got some new olives. They're not too salty. That's important to me. Too much salt is not so good. And these are not so salted. They are black olives, kalamata. They are called from Greece, and they are pitted, and they have a nice marinade with herbs, and it's very nice. You got to find your own desired or favorite olive. That is always the thing. But olives and tomatoes, by the way, fruit and light, and makes a salad really rich because there's a fat in olives, and that makes it rich, of course. You see, it's a very simple thing. Just tomatoes, olives, and onions on top of the leaves that are the greatest part. And today I have a sweet sour cashew dressing again. I made it recently. I show you in another video how to make it. You'll find the link under this one. But I want to mention something here. So I tried to do some salads with this new dressing, and I found that I can easily adapt it to the leaf I have. This leaf here is a little bit bitter, and that is perfect to have it more salty or sour, not salty, sour. So it's a sweet and sour cashew dressing. I have cashews, apple cider vinegar, very sour, dates to make it, to balance a little bit the sour flavor, pepper and salt. That's it, very simple. The water, okay, as much as you like. I want to have a runny dressing here because I have these thin stripes. I cannot have a thick dressing. The stripes then would stick together and it's not a nice feeling while eating. So it's a runny dressing, so I put more water in than, let's say, for a cucumber salad. That's the opposite. A cucumber salad, sliced cucumbers, I put a creamy dressing, more cashews, less water, then you have a creamier one, and the cucumbers like that, of course. And here it's the opposite, runny. And because the endive is bitter, add more apple cider vinegar. And also a little bit more pepper, I found. You've got to check it out. These dressings are very simple with 5 ingredients. You can easily change something. More water, more salt, more vinegar, more pepper, It is very easy to have. You can do it right here. You don't need to make a new dressing or something. Add a little bit. So I added a little bit more vinegar and more pepper so that you know, because I guess it's nicer for the endive. And then I'll show you what it looks like. You will see it is runny. I don't need much. It just needs to get everywhere. I don't want to have the salad to swim in this dressing. It's a rich dressing with cashews as opposed to dressings that have just a tiny amount of oil and mostly vinegar and then water. My mom makes that. It's a very light dressing, almost watery that you don't see it. It makes the salad a little bit shiny. And you don't eat it. It's just around the leaves. This is different. With the cashews, you have a thick dressing, a creamy dressing, more nutritious. I don't need a lot here. It is everywhere anyway when it's runny, and I only need a little bit. But it needs to be everywhere because the leaves are bitter, a little bit, I would say. That's why I need a little bit dressing everywhere to have the balanced effect. It looks nice to me. I have to be careful tossing it. I don't want to mesh anything, pressure anything too much. And this is my salad today. It's a dark leafy green. It's the healthiest food we have, officially by medical science, nutritional science. And I have my green salad every day when I can. I always have something green, that's so important. And of course, lots of fruit. Most people eat too little. And of course, whole food, plant-based diet. That's the diet of choice with lots of variety. More different plants is better, always better. Makes you live longer and be healthier. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You like my video. Subscribe Endive Vegan on YouTube. I have another recipe every single day to enjoy the endless vegan variety. And find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and X. Want to donate? Support my vegan mission? Make a super thanks. See you soon.